My name is Archibald Barclay Willoughby, a rather fancy name for a plain copper, but that's what I am. Maybe you know me better as PC-49. I'm a uniformed police officer attached to S Division, pretty much the same sort of fellows you see on traffic control or handing out the odd parking ticket or pounding the beat, as I was doing on the night when it all started. A bitterly cold night that had me wishing I'd picked some other kind of job. I was browned off properly when Jones showed up with a flask of hot coffee. Strictly against regulations, as my sergeant would say, but what he didn't see wouldn't worry him. Lucky for me, I saw that patrol car pulling in. Divisional Detective Inspector Wilson's a real tartar when it comes to rules and regulations. I wondered what had brought him round that dead and alive corner of the division. He had Detective Sergeant Wright with him, so I guess something was in the wind. Keep on your toes, he said as they drove off. I didn't tell him my toes were so cold I couldn't feel them. I could hardly wait to get that coffee under my belt, and boy, did it taste good. She'd even remembered the sugar. A guy needs something more than ambition to keep him going on a night like that. I made another breach in the regulations by kissing Joan goodnight. Then I packed her off home and turned to pick up where I'd left off. The same dull old check-up of doors and gates, the same dreary old routine that never seemed to lead anywhere. The 6 hours of pavement bashing in front of me seemed more like 6 years, and the 3 stripes I was hoping to get someday seemed further away than the stars. I was fairly new to that particular beat. It had the reputation of being very quiet, and it was certainly living up to its name that night. I checked the gate of Cullen's warehouse, found it secure, and as I turned to move on, something caught my eye. Something lying on the cobblestones outside the gate. It was a little silver swan. The sort of thing one fashions idly from the tin foil you find in the more expensive type of cigarette packet. I tossed it away without a second thought. I joined the force because it seemed the only legitimate way to get action in peacetime. But what a hope. Nothing was going to happen on this beat. Nothing to earn a man his stripe or break the monotony. And then...
Last night was the 6th consecutive truck robbery in this division in less than a month.
Yes, sir.
Now look here, 49. I've no doubt you did your duty to the best of your ability. This statement, you know, of yours gets us nowhere. Isn't there something you've forgotten? Some little detail that you noticed at the time, only forgot in the excitement that followed.
It's all in that statement, Inspector?
Yes. 200 cases of export whiskey lifted right under our very noses. Attempted murder of Cullen's watchman, and not a clue.
Come straight from the hospital, sir. Night watchman just died.
You managed to get a statement?
Never regained consciousness.
They're drawing blanks all along the line, huh? All right, 49, you can go.
Yes, sir. Oh, excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Well, you know I've applied for duty as a plainclothes aide.
Well, what about it?
Well, I was wondering, sir, if there was any hope of mine being given a chance on this case.
Oh, forget it, Constable. This sort of work needs experience.
Well, yes, sir, but...
You heard what the inspector said, Constable?
Yes, Sergeant. Yes, Inspector.
$200 cases of export whiskey. And they haven't got a clue.
You're just a little too quick on the trigger for my liking, Barney.
What's the matter, Skinny? Cold feet?
You should know better than that. You shoot the night watchman, straight away you knock 50% off the price of scotch.
If the rest of that Rossini gang you worked for were as white-livered as you. No wonder they finished where they did.
Rossini used a gun. He swung for it. Don't get those slugs out soon enough. You better get rid of that gun before it gets us all into trouble.
Ah, stop sniveling with parrot. What you got lined up for tonight?
Well, there's 3 jobs for you. A consignment of carpets,
Too heavy.
a shipment of tweed, export stuff.
Too risky defense at present.
What's the matter, Barney? You getting particular?
And what about a couple of million fags?
Now you're talking. I know where I can place them right away. Give us the lowdown.
Well, the driver's name's Ted Burton. The stuff's in 8 crates. He's a very conscientious bloke, this Burton. Runs strict to time. He'll hit this section of the Great North Road dead on 10 o'clock. And he'll pull in here to his grub. At Ma Brady's.
Well, Brady's, huh? This ought to be a pushover.
Better off driving a tank at Alamein. It was less risky.
Ah, you blokes are frightened of your own shadows. You want to do what I do. The moment I load up, I put my foot down and keep belting along till I'm home at the depot.
Well, you're not at the depot now, Skipper.
Well, I've got to stop someplace for grub, ain't I? The truck's all right outside Mars.
What about Georgie Clark?
Yeah, what about him? Night before last, on the lonely stretch near Manchester, he sees a bloke stretched out on the tarmac. He eases up and gets down to see what's wrong. 3 blokes jump at him from the ditch.
Now, what would you do in a case like that? You couldn't put your foot down and run over him?
I got the right idea. I got me missus travelling with me.
Your missus?
Yeah, sitting in the truck with a shotgun. My old girl used to run a shooting gallery, and she's quick on the trigger.
Yeah, you boys who are going up north, you better get a move on. You're behind schedule now.
Blimey.
Oh, my, you're worse than the timekeeper at the depot. Give us time to finish my jar.
Put it in your saucer, Skipper. Like a gentleman.
Don't blow it, it's bad manners. Fan it with your hat. So, Skip.
Not a bad idea, Bill's taking his missus along as driver's mate.
Romance on the road. Why don't you try it, Skipper?
Ain't got a missus. Yet. You wouldn't care for a permanent job as driver's mate, would you, Carrots?
Hey, what sort of proposal is this?
Strictly on the level, sweetheart. What about it?
Thanks for the compliment, but you're not my type.
Still carrying the torch for Ted Burton, eh?
Ted Burton, as if he means anything to me.
Ma, I had eggs and chips, 4 slices of smear, and 2 cups of char.
That'll be 2 and 8, son.
Mind if I leave it over till Friday, Ma?
All right, you leave it over. Here, you better take this. You'll need it to tide you over until payday.
Ah, good old Ma.
Oh, go on with you. You're running late.
so busy. Ted! Ted,
Hello, sweetheart. Still wild about me?
you and a few more?
Hear that, Ma? She just can't get me out of that curly hair of hers.
What you gonna have?
Turtle soup, a cut of fresh salmon, lump steak and chips and a couple of eggs on top, apple pie, clotted cream and coffee.
All right, coming up. One corned beef hash and mash.
Strange the power I got over that woman, Ma. All I got to do is ask her for something, and I get something different.
All right, Carrots. You stay and talk to Ted. I'll go and get him something hot.
You know, I don't like that bloke. He's always hanging around here.
Oh, he's all right.
Blimey, I had a worry a minute ago. I thought I was in the doghouse about something. You do still love me, don't you?
You take too much for granted, Ted Burton. I was only worried because
Because what?
Well, boys have had a lot of trouble lately. Night watchman down at Cullen's was shot dead last night.
Oh, you mean this gang that's knocking off lorries? Well, they don't worry me. I can look after myself. I could look after you, too, if you'd give me half a chance.
I might even do that.
Can we have 2 cups of tea, please, miss?
That's what we're here for, son. Here's your food, dear.
Thanks, Ma.
Want anything to eat, Joan?
Just tea, thanks, Archie. Hot, strong, and sweet.
Same for me, please, miss.
Sure that's all?
Yes, I think so.
Hot and strong.
Yes. And it's sweet.
I'm the girl you came in with. Remember?
Oh, there you are, darling.
Hey, Archie?
Hmm?
Got any fags, Ma?
Not one in the place, son. My supplies don't come in till tomorrow.
Cool. I got 10,000 quid's worth of fags out in my lorry. No, that's my lorry. Hey!
There, dear, take it easy.
He's badly hit. Keep him warm, I'll phone for an ambulance.
All right, Archie.
As I picked up that phone, I knew I had to follow this thing to the end. For 2 nights in succession, fate, chance, call it what you will, had slapped me in the face with crimes of the same type. I made up my mind there and then that I'd convince Inspector Wilson this was my case. I realize, Inspector, that I've no right to argue with you about a thing like this, but I'll work 24 hours a day if you give me a chance on this case.
We've been over all this before.
Yes, sir, but listen. 8 hours ago, Burton was seriously wounded. The previous night, Cullen's watchman was shot dead, 10 to 1 by the same gang.
We know all this.
I've hung on all night, sir, but we're no better off than we were 8 hours ago.
Everything possible was being done, Constable. All right, you can go.
Well, yes, sir. But this gang's intelligently briefed, run on commando lines. What we need is a man inside.
Step 249?
Well, yes, Sergeant. But you see, sir, I've got a thing about these crimes.
A thing? What sort of a thing?
Well, kind of a hunch, sir. It seems like these crimes are chasing me. Well, I'd like a chance to chase them, on my own terms.
As I told you before, this requires experience.
You heard what the inspector said? Now report back to the duty sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
49. Wait a minute.
Yes, sir?
Right. Now, maybe there's something in what he said. We've been logical and lost out all along the line. Perhaps we should give him a chance.
Third time lucky, sir?
49.
Sergeant.
And you get this, 49, and get it straight. If you step so far as 1 inch outside your line of duty,
Yes, sir?
I'll pound you so flat in that carpet you'll think you're part of a pattern.
Yes, very good, sir. Thank you, sir. Inspector Wilson had certainly sentenced me to 10 days hard labor when he gave me that break. And he wasn't going to turn me loose till I knew all the answers. I started going through the case history of every similar crime for years back, like a kid learning his ABC again. I couldn't see the sense of it, till I came to the file of a crook called Vince Kelly. Then my task began to take shape. Kelly was dead, and it was my job to slip into his skin, to wear his criminal record like a tailor-made suit. Kelly had worked with the Rossini gang in the Manchester area. Pretty rough bunch, the Rossinis. They knocked off lorry loads right and left until the Northern police roped them in. Only 2 of the gang got away. One, a driver called Skinny Ellis, and the other, Vince Kelly. But Kelly's record bore the stamp, dead. The file showed he'd been killed in a street fight in Dublin shortly after his escape. Wilson was gambling that even if the London gang knew anything about Kelly, they wouldn't know he was pushing up the shamrocks in an Irish graveyard. And all the time I was soaking up that dope, the gang's latest activities were still hitting the headlines. But sooner or later, even a perfectionist like Wilson had to call it a day. I knew when he sent for me I had to be good, and I made up my mind I'd play it to the limit, till even the DDI would think I was Vince Kelly, come back from the dead.
What's your name?
Vince Kelly,
Where are you in 48?
working with the Rossini gang on routes north of Manchester.
Who ran the outfit?
Bruno Rossini, age 39, height 5'8", thick set. Brown eyes and curly hair, smoked cigars, drank Chianti.
Any distinguishing marks?
Razor slash, down left cheek.
Where did you live?
22 Parker Avenue, Cheetham Hill.
What happened August the 8th, 1948?
We bust into Spicer's warehouse, but the bogies had been tipped off.
Did you get away?
Yes. Everybody was nabbed, except me and a bloke named Skinny Ellis. Ellis was a crack driver. I never saw him again.
And your movements after?
Got to Liverpool, had a pal on a fruit boat there. Went to Spain till things had quietened down.
When did you get back?
A week ago.
What are you doing now?
Looking for soft sugar. Something in the lorry lock that'll pay off well.
Good. Excellent, 49. You seem to got that straight. A cigarette. Now, that half movement to your right hand might be in the end of you. Vince Kelly was left-handed. Remember, left-handed.
Yes, sir, I will.
Well, mind you do.
I'd scraped over the first hurdle, but the big one was to come. And before that, I knew someone else who wanted to give me a spot of briefing.
Don't tell me you didn't have a girlfriend, Mr. Kelly.
Of course I had a girlfriend. Mavis, her name was. Blonde. I got a fancy for blondes, you know.
How interesting. What became of her?
I never saw her again after that night the gang got smashed up. Well, I guess she didn't find it hard to get herself another smart guy.
But not as smart as you, surely. Where do we go from here, Vince?
Call me Kelly. I answer better.
My mistake. Kelly. All right, then. Let's have the dope.
Somebody's operating the truck racket. In a big way, too, northwest of London. Got to find out who the top man is, get myself a job. The dough's good. Don't mind taking big risks.
Ever thought of working solo?
Nah. Got to have a clearinghouse for the stuff. For work solo, all I get's peanuts.
Clever, Mr. Kelly. Here, have a drink. No, you chump. Left hand.
Oh, darn it.
Never mind, darling. You're almost perfect. But remember, left hand.
Yes, I'd better. They're turning me loose tomorrow.
Where do you start?
On the North Circular Road. Somehow this gang is getting advanced gen. The inspector's theory is that someone's getting information from the careless talk of the drivers in those joints.
When will I see you again?
Oh, I can't say. If I'm onto anything, it may be too risky to contact you.
Well, I'll be worried if I don't know where you are.
I'll tell you what. I'll see you the day after tomorrow in Ma Brady's place.
Ma Brady's place?
Yes. You know, where we were on Tuesday. I'll try and get there soon after 11, but if I'm not there, you'll know I'm onto something.
Ma Brady's place, 11. But you better be there, Copper, if you want me to stay sane.
Don't worry about old 49. You know, 4 and 9.
Make 13.
That's right. That's my lucky number.
But I don't...
So there I was, Vince Kelly, footloose, fancy-free, and with a record from Dartmoor to Bow Street and back. I hoped I didn't look like what I really was, a copper looking for a needle in a haystack. But I had to start somewhere. I worked that North Circular Road with a microscope. There wasn't a driver's gaff I didn't check. I became an expert on pull-in char and cheesecakes. I thumbed rides back and forth and round and about until I began to feel I was on a merry-go-round, getting nowhere very fast. If ever there was a suspicious character, I was it. But the closest I got to crime was some of that pull-in tea, and believe me, it was a crime against humanity. There was plenty of gab from the drivers, mostly about the gang's activities. But I couldn't seem to pick up a real lead anywhere. I began to worry about reporting back to Wilson. I knew if I didn't show him quick results, he'd have me back in uniform before I could say Oaksy. I was fed up, far from home, and ready to chuck in my hand when I hit Charlie's joint. It was just another one of those roadside gaffes with which I'd grown only too familiar. I didn't expect to find anything there. I was ready to bet my Sunday helmet would be the same as all the others. But as it turned out, I was wrong.
You never know what you're loading these days. I reckon they think maybe we're passing the gen on what we're carrying.
Well, blimey, it's easy enough to find out what you're carrying by the way your load's riding. Think I don't know I'm carrying whiskey? You've only got to put two and two together.
That was the way I met Fingers, the guy who made little silver swans out of tinfoil. I didn't know then how far he'd lead me, but I was certain of two things. Fingers had been outside Cullen's warehouse the night the watchman was murdered. The little bird told me that. And Fingers had an illicit interest in trucks and their contents.
My dogs are not barking. Feet in the water. Cool them off a bit. Oh, that's lovely. Having cool. Oh, don't know, make a difference. You've done that truck driver up lovely, didn't you? Pleasure to watch you. Where'd you learn to use your hands, eh?
Same place I learned to keep my trap shut.
What made you take my part, chum? You don't know me.
I thought that bloke was going to shop you. I don't like coppers' narcs.
Had a bad deal from the Rosses, eh?
Yeah, well, what of it?
No offence. I knew you was a wild boy the minute I clapped eyes on you. What's your graft?
Listen, chum, don't take liberties. I stepped into your little bit of bother because I don't like to see any bloke shelved. He was casing that lorry, all right. I knew it. The driver knew it. Well, that's your business. Suppose you keep your nose out of mine, eh?
Well, I thought you was the kind of bloke as would do business with a chap like me.
Huh? What sort of business?
One that pays out in the heavy dough for a chap what's got guts. I don't think about trucks.
Show me one I can't drive.
Ever been lagged?
Yeah. You may be a nose for all I know. Still, they ain't got nothing on me. There's no harm in you knowing. I used to bash trucks up north for the Rossinis.
What, for the Rossinis, eh? You used to work for the Rossinis? Well, you're going to work again, fella. I'd like you to meet a pal of mine.
Well, what have I got to lose?
So you worked for Rossini's, huh?
That's right.
Any proof?
Better dig Bruno up out of the quicklime and ask him.
Funny, aren't you? What's your name?
Vince Kelly.
Vince Kelly.
That's me.
You and Skinny Ellis were the only two to get out of the Spicer warehouse tomorrow, weren't you?
Yeah. Me and Skinny were lucky.
And you think you're good, do you?
I'm good.
You don't exactly hate yourself, do you, Kelly?
I never asked to meet you. If you don't want to go on with this...
All right, all right. Take it easy. Yes. Yes. Where? Right. Leave it to me. Right. Ready to do a job, Kelly? That was the boss.
The boss? Thought you were the top man around here. What is this, a tryout? I'd like to know who I'm working for.
You're working for the boss, but I'm trying you out. That's all you need to know.
Okay. What's the setup?
That's better. This is Black's lorry. Load of export silk. It's parked outside Charlie's joint about an hour from now.
Hey, wait a minute. Charlie's joint. That's why I bashed that driver.
Well, what of it? He'd be halfway to Glasgow by now.
Scared, Kelly?
What's the routine?
Hang about outside and wait for Black. It's an open 3-tonner.
Registration number MLT96.
As soon as you get the signal, get that truck moving.
Sounds simple.
It is simple. You work it clean. Bungle it and you're out on your own.
Looks like I'm on my own already. Anyway, just as soon as I get aboard the lorry.
Oh, no, you're not. From then on, you have Skinny with you.
Skinny?
Skinny Ellis, your old pal.
Skinny Ellis, eh? What's he doing around here?
Working for him as you. Any objection?
No. No. Where do I pick him up?
Don't you worry. He'll be there. Just in case anything should go wrong.
Don't take any chances, do you, Barney?
No. I don't take any chances.
Where do I take the lorry to?
Here. This is Charlie's joint. Come north, turn left. Carry on for 2 miles. There's a wood on the left here. Drive down the side road, and I'll be waiting for you there.
At last, I was in. And so far, the luck was with me. Skinny was the complication. Skinny Ellis, the guy who knew Vince Kelly too well for my help. Any moment now, I was going to meet Skinny face to face, and then there'd be trouble. Here was I, committed to knock off a lorry load of silk. This was my 0 hour. If I failed now, I could say goodbye to my career in the force.
Hello, Jude. How are you, Skinny?
Ah, hello, my friend.
Cup of jar, sausages and mash.
Okay, coming up. You're early tonight.
Yeah, 5 minutes. She was a pretty easy run tonight.
Make sure you don't get home too early. Maybe you'll surprise your missus with the lodger, huh?
Okay, Kelly. We got clear. Never expected to see you again. I thought for sure you was mad with your Rotini. Right?
No.
You're not Kelly. Who are you?
Well, what's the difference?
What's the difference? The difference is you're not Kelly. Who are you? Who sent you?
Barney?
Barney? But Barney tell me what sending Kelly. I don't trust you. Stop the truck. Listen, I tell you, stop the truck.
Okay. That put paid to Skinny, at least for the time being. But a few miles ahead, Barney was waiting, and he wouldn't wait long if I failed to turn up. I wondered what he'd say when I arrived without Skinny.
Nice work, Kelly. Any trouble?
Easier shelling peas.
Where's Skinny?
Skinny? How should I know?
You never seen him?
Some guy came out of the cafe just as I was taking off. I didn't wait and see. Might have been the driver.
Okay. Let's stop shifted.
To sling those bales of stolen silk to Barney, once again I played with the idea of nabbing the bird in hand. I'd never get a better chance. But I knew the moment I copped Barney, I'd break the one slender thread that might lead me to the mysterious boss. I knew that if I hadn't already broken Skinny's neck, sooner or later he was going to show up. Barney seemed to have swallowed my bluff. But how long would it be before Skinny turned up to call it?
And you say you never saw him.
I told you I saw no one. Maybe I worked too fast.
Maybe that's just what you
Now
did.
get this, Barney. I don't know what you're getting at, but I don't like it, see?
I don't like working with a mob that don't trust me.
Keep your shirt on, Kelly. I'm just worried about Skinny, that's all.
Well, keep on worrying. Let's have my dough and we call it a day.
Cool off. The boss will pay you off all right.
When?
Tonight.
One or two things I ought to do.
Forget him, Kelly.
Hey, what's the idea?
I think you're on the level, but I'm not taking any chances till I'm sure.
Meaning? Meaning what?
You're staying right here till Skinny shows up.
And if he don't?
There's no argument about it, chum.
Oh. So that's the way it is.
Yes, Kelly. And if you're on the level, you won't blame me.
And you say, Miss Carr, you've heard nothing from this young man of yours?
No,
You've no idea where he is now?
none whatever. Nothing's happened to him, has it?
Something will happen to him when he comes back. Now listen, Miss Carr. The moment you get me communication from PC-49, tell him to report back to headquarters in person.
But what if he's busy?
Busy?
You heard what the inspector said, Miss Carr. I hope you'll carry out his instructions.
All right, Inspector. But I can't help feeling you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? Me? How?
Well, Inspector, if you'll take my advice, why don't you just relax and leave it to Archie?
Leave it to?
Leave it to Archie.
You see, that's what comes of chancing your arm on a ranked amateur.
Now then, you two, I'm going to get dressed. So I hope you'll excuse me.
That'll do, right. Come along.
Oh, come on, Kelly, relax.
My luck don't change. There won't be much left of my cut on that silk.
Barney here. I get it. Okay. Go look in the joint down the road. How about his girl? You check with her? I don't know where the devil he is. Right, see you later. That was Fingers. He's checked every joint for miles. There's no news of Skinny. We'll meet at Ma Brady's tonight at 11.
Ma Brady's? 11.
So what?
I'm happy. I can feel a willing streak coming on.
See you.
What's this place?
This is Canfield Cottage Hospital. You've had a nasty accident. Now just lie still.
How long I been here?
Don't start worrying.
Who bring me here?
A policeman. Huh? Yes, he's coming back later to see if you can tell him what happened.
Come get out of here.
Now, you're not going to leave here for a good few days yet. Settle down and relax. Let's get your things off now.
Oh, I tell you, I gotta go. I don't want no visitors.
But they only want to talk to you.
Sure, I know.
Look, I think you better get back to bed.
Oh, shut up.
Really, what a way to talk. Now, be a good boy and drink this up.
Come back. Hey, come back. Come back.
Hello, dear.
Hello, Ma.
How's Ted?
I'm never so worried. He's still on the danger list.
Well, you don't want to worry. He'll pull through all right.
Now, leave her alone. Can't you see she's upset?
Oh, it's only sympathising with her.
What you want's a nice, strong cup of tea.
I'll go get one.
No, you stay there.
Hello, Miss Brady.
Hello, Inspector. What brings you here?
Just a routine checkup.
Would you both like a nice hot cuppa?
No, thanks. Haven't time.
Here's a little thing of this. Do you make it?
Yeah, I make them all the time.
You mind if I take it home to my kid? She'd like it.
Looking for anyone, Sarge?
Yes. Come on, right. Let's try Charlie's place. Good night, Mr. Brady.
Good night.
Oh, good night, all. And thanks for giving me the bird.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Sarge.
Good night, miss.
Good night. Wonder who they're looking for.
I hope it's the brutes who shot Ted Burton.
Yeah, time they got someone for that.
I'll go and get your cook, dear. Time's getting on.
All on your own tonight? No, Ma's out in the kitchen. Can I get you something? Just a cup of tea, thanks. Thank you.
Well, 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 look who's here. Mavis. Fancy running into you.
Surprised to see me, Mr. Kelly? How's tricks?
So-so?
Who's the dame?
Introduce us, you dope.
Oh, you remember me telling you about Mavis?
Mavis, huh?
Well, it's the girl I used to kick around with up north. Well, this is her.
So you're Mavis, are you? I'm Barney.
Any friend of Kelly's? She's a friend of mine.
Caddis, 2 cups of tea, please.
Coming up.
Yeah, look here, Barney. I've been waiting here ever since...
Wait a bit longer. Can't you see I'm busy? Sit down, kid.
Well, what about our date?
Just about to fix another one. Hey, Kelly. Why don't you go over and talk to Fingers? He seems lonesome.
Three's a crowd, eh?
That's what I always say.
I'll stay here.
Hello? Yes, this is Ma Brady's. Who? Yes, he's here. Half him up. It's for you, Barney.
Hey, Fingers, you take it. I got my hands full just at present.
Ladies' man. Hmm?
I get by.
Hello?
Want anything to eat, Barney?
Yeah. 2 ham sandwiches.
No, this is Fingers. Blimey, it's you. Got a message for you, Barney. Private one.
Okay. You stay here, Kelly. Don't you go away either, kid. You and I are going to get on well together.
Archie, what's the idea?
Don't talk, listen. Go and watch the door and let me know when Barney's coming back.
But what? Who is this Barney?
Barney's the guy who shot Ted Burton.
What? He shot Ted?
Yes, I'm sure of it. They're all in this truck robbery racket together.
But I don't understand.
Listen, here's the drill. These men are taking me to meet the boss, the top man of the gang.
But Archie, you said these men were killers. I don't want you to go.
Whatever silly guy, I've got to rope them all in, the top man as well.
But how are you going to do it?
As soon as they come back, we'll move off, I expect. The appointment was for 11.
Go on, Gareth, go and watch the door.
But where does this boss live?
I don't know yet, but it's somewhere quite near here.
What's all this about, son?
Listen, Ma, I came here with Barney to meet Fingers.
You brought him in here and said he was okay, and fell for this Kelly lark. And he turns out to be a blasted copper.
Well, you fell for it too, Barney. How was I to know?
The skinny say how long it'd be.
20 minutes. Hey, look here, Barney. That girl must be a phony, too.
I'll give him Mavis.
What are you going to do?
What do you think?
But these boys have been coming here for months. Are you sure they're crooks, dear?
There's no doubt about it, Ma. But I want the big fish, the boss. Joan, directly I leave here, I want you to telephone Inspector Wilson. Get him to come round here at once. Either Carrots or Ma can follow me. When they get the location of the boss's house, they can come back here and fetch the police. But it's absolutely essential that Barney suspects nothing till he's led me to the boss.
You stay here and wait for Skinny. I'll play this hand alone. And I'll deal with you later.
No, I couldn't help it.
Ah, stop your sniveling.
Hey, he's coming back now.
Joan, for goodness sake, don't forget
It's
to...
all right, Archie. I know the number. Camden 1212. I'll phone as soon as...
No, I don't go near Manchester these days, Mavis.
Okay, Kelly. Let's get moving.
That's what I've been waiting for, Barney. So long, Mavis. Get performing.
You wouldn't want to leave Mavis behind, would you, chum? There's a nice welcome for her where we're going. Come on, kid. I can fix you up for a nice drink with my friends.
I don't believe mixing business with pleasure.
Nobody asked you, Kelly.
Just a minute, Tarzan. Don't you even give a girl time to powder her nose. Here's tuppence for that phone call, Carrots. Thanks. You're welcome. Camden 1212, wasn't it, Ma?
Yes, that's the number, girl.
You better follow them.
I'll go and get my things.
Hello? Hello, is that police headquarters? I'd like to speak to Inspector Wilson, please, quick.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Special place you've got here.
And they say crime doesn't pay.
What'll you drink? There's everything.
What is this? The Ritz?
Whiskey?
Uh-huh.
How about you, Kelly?
Count me out.
This is the life.
Here you are, kid.
Oh, lovely. Thanks ever so.
Here you are.
I told you I don't want it.
Go on, Kelly. You'll need it. Copper. I'll deal with you. I've dealt with him.
Looks like somebody's bluff's been called.
You said it.
Yes, I'm a police officer, chum. With enough on you to put you away for good.
What makes you think you're going to be able to spill it?
I'll talk all right when the time comes. Come on, Barney, you better quit. The game's up.
You won't talk.
I don't think you've got the guts to use that thing.
What about Cullum's night watchman? And Ted Burton? She won't talk either when I've done with her.
Well, she's fainted.
Stay where you are.
Well, you can't let her lie there.
Can't I?
Yes, of course. You can. All right, Joan, get up. I'm afraid it didn't work that time.
Not very clever.
Good work, Archie. What a man.
Yes.
Let's get out of here quickly.
Not on your life, Joan. Not till I've got the boss. He may be here any minute now. Look, I tell you what.
Someone's coming.
My Brady. And I was expecting the boss.
The boss?
Yes, the chap I came here to get.
Did you phone the police, Ma?
No, Carrots did that. I followed you to see where Barney brought you.
Joan, get back to the cafe and get Inspector Wilson here the moment he turns up.
But Archie,
Go on, get cracking.
Oh, all right. Look after yourself.
Oh, don't worry. I can handle this.
Where is Barney?
Behind the sofa. Sleeping. Hey, Ma, take the gun and cover him. I'll get something to tie him up. You're not scared of guns, are you?
No, son. I'm not scared of guns.
Looks like the boss has got wind of something. Seems like we've missed him.
No, son, you haven't missed him. But he isn't going to do you much good.
Well, what?
You filthy copper, you. All right, Barney, it's your ma.
His?
Yes, his ma. And the boss.
Well, I'll be. Blimey, you certainly fooled me. Ma Brady, the boss.
Shut your filthy mouth. Where's the girl?
Gone back to the cafe to phone the cop.
Are you mad?
Ah, don't worry. There's a welcome committee waiting there for her. They'll deal with her just as I'm going to deal with this mug.
I'll deal with him.
Barney, what have I done?
That's what they call poetic justice.
Clarence? Clarence, where are you? Clarence. I couldn't find the place. You must.
You're not going to phone nobody.
Who are you?
Don't you remember? Mavis? That's Skinny. He used to know you and Kelly when he worked for the Rossinis.
What are you going to do?
You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah. When Ma returns.
Ma. Ma Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the door.
One word. One little word from you, Carissima. He's gonna be your last.
Too late, chum. Put your hands up. Turn around.
Oh, my friend Skinny.
Hello, Kelly. Nice to see you again.
How's the head? Bad, I hope. Sorry, Joan, I see to mess things up.
Quiet, copper. You and me, I think we got a little bit of business to settle, huh?
Cats. There's 49, sir. 49? 49? I'm afraid he's a bit dazed, sir.
Yes, I don't wonder. He's done a pretty good job. As I was saying, 49, you've done a capital job. Results have proved it. As regards the methods you've used, I think perhaps that's something which I better turn a blind eye.
Yes, sir. I think I see what you mean.
All right, 49, you can go.
Oh, but, sir,
Carry on, Constable.
Yes, sir. Sergeant.
Hello, Inspector.
Well, let me sit again. Well, back to the beat.
But weren't they pleased with you?
Well, yes, I think so, and the inspector says I need more experience.
Oh, never mind, darling. You'll get your chance yet.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, I'm off to see Carrots.
Oh, how is she?
Much better.
Good.
Cheer up.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid you can't park here.
Can't park?
No, sir.
It's a great pity that instead of pestering respectable ratepayers, you members of the police force can't concentrate on doing something about these crimes of violence that are so prevalent today.